Sixers Nation, we are counting down the days and we have more reason for optimism than ever. James Harden says the Sixers are chip chasing. Joel Embiid is becoming something the league has never seen before, and a whole lot more. On today's show, we'll break it all down. Let's go.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Like always, if you enjoy this content, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the show, and be sure, double check that you have that notification bell on. You don't want to miss any of the upcoming content. We will be breaking it all down. As always, I am excited. Training camp is on the way. It's felt like maybe the slowest offseason ever, but that is because the Sixers have actually had a normal offseason outside of all the drama, but we will get there. The days counting down. I cannot wait. Today, I want to start with something very meaningful. Shout out to the late, great Sixers legend on what would have been his 86th birthday, Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest all time, man. Just the magnitude. I wish I would have gotten the chance to see this guy play. I know people that have. Just a spectacular talent, just phenomenal, and so grateful that he was a part of this Sixers organization, quite frankly. So happy birthday to the late Wilt Chamberlain. And to be quite honest with you, if there's a guy, not trying to compare, but with the magnitude, right? Just that wow factor, similar to a Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, it might be Joel Embiid. It might be Joel Embiid. But today we will start with our guy, James Harden. Here are some pictures that have come out over the last week. Harden working out. He is more motivated than ever. Look at James, man. Look at him. This is slim fit James Harden, okay? This isn't the talk and the not show up part. This is James Harden motivated, more motivated than ever, getting his body right, making the sacrifices for the team. I'm telling you, man, as I've reiterated, I will say it until I am blue in the face. You know, this is the best opportunity for guys like James Harden to come out here and try to win a championship. And he's going to do what it takes. He's been saying the right things. And as you can see, he's trying to get his body in the right shape as we move forward here, getting close to the offseason. You know, I'm telling you, one of the first things I will look for when Sixers training camp comes is the shape, the stamina of these guys like James Harden, Joel Embiid. What shape will they be in? That is something we need to see, obviously, to avoid injury. But, you know, you got to get your body right. You got to get your body right. You have to prolong yourself, especially when injuries have been a major factor, even in the last year or two. And honestly, they hurt us, you know, in the playoffs. So I'm interested to see how that goes. And then looking at a guy like Joel Embiid, this came out, I think, a few weeks ago. Somebody sent it to me. Joel Embiid was spotted in this picture. He was going through a few runs, little practice pickup with guys like Chet Holmgren and Jason Tatum and other guys. But look at Joel Embiid. They spotted him in this picture. I don't know, man. He looks pretty slim fit to me. He looks like he's getting some more muscle up in there. I mean, Joel looks skinny. If you remember years back, I mean, this guy would run down the floor a couple times and he would be panting. He'd be out of breath, huffing and puffing. Joel's looking good, man. He's definitely taken the steps needed over the last couple years, hiring, different nutritional people and different trainers and just people that can really work on his diet. All right, no more Chick-fil-A sandwiches on road games. Joel's been doing his thing, man, and hey, he's looking good. He is looking good right now. Embiid, Harden, both working on their body, again, making that sacrifice. Sure, injuries happen sometimes. Sometimes they're freak injuries, just like Embiid's last year in the playoffs, but you have to do everything you need to as a professional, as somebody who wants to be great and help your team to get in the best shape possible. And hey, man, I mean, he's looking pretty good here. On to the next thing we need to look at. James Harden asked about Philly fans and what they can look forward to this upcoming season. Let's hear what he had to say.
What can you say to Sixers fans that are excited for the year?
Another year to try to win a championship. Philly know I'll be coming.
What can you say to Sixers fans that are excited?
Another year to try to win a championship. Philly knows how we are coming. I am telling you, man. I am telling you, this is going to be the year. I have not been this excited for a Sixers year in a long time. You have the Joel Embiid, who's more motivated than ever, who's been snubbed out of an MVP or two. You have James Harden, who's had every knock on him, and they've said he's done and this and that, and he's done everything in his career except win a championship. You have Tyrese Maxey, who goes into the gym at 5:50 in the morning, who's motivated. He's 21 years old, already looking like a potential future phenom. Tobias Harris has heard a lot about his game. He's motivated. Now you get some dogs in here. This is going to be the squad. This is the year we need to take the leap. This is the year we need to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know we're not at training camp yet. I'm not trying to put excessive pressure on this team, but there will be lots of high hopes this year, especially with how the Eastern Conference is stacking up. The Sixers need to come out here and make a statement, and you can see, man, Embiid, Harden, all of them, they realize the opportunity at hand, and the Sixers will have to produce this year. There will be some big expectations based off, where guys are at in their career. A little more on Joel Embiid. Here's some stats over the last 2 seasons. Shout out to StatMuse for putting them up. Joel Embiid averaging 30 and 11, shooting 51 from the field, 37% from three, 83% from the line, first in points per game. Obviously won the scoring title this past year. 2-time All-NBA, should be 2-time first-team All-NBA, 2-time All-Star and All-Defense, second in MVP voting 2 years in a row. Joel Embiid is absolutely insane. He is something this league has never seen. He's becoming something this league has never seen. And, we know the dominance of Joel Embiid as we've seen over time, just being able to do so many things on the floor. But I think the biggest thing these last couple years has been the consistency factor. And you just have that feeling where if you watch Joel on a nightly basis, he can take over a game. He can say, okay, this is my game. I am going to just absolutely shred and dominate. I think that's been the biggest thing. And then obviously, things that don't even show up on this stat sheet, adding step back threes to your game, adding handles. I mean, it's just been nuts. It has been nuts, but it might not be done. Things are getting even better. There was an article put out by Liberty Ballers. This was, I think, a couple weeks ago, and essentially they were just asking, about what Joel has been working on and just talking about his offseason regime, because it's been kind of quiet on the Embiid front, to be honest. Been a little bit quiet, more on James Harden, of course, but this is the first offseason he has a chance to go through with a teammate like James Harden and build that chemistry, and I'm excited. So here's a quote from Joel at the end of the Heat series. This is what he had said. He said, "My goal remains the same. It's to win it all every single season. I feel like I've gotten better, and there's still another level I can reach. Every postseason, I've seen adjustments kind of made, and they made me want to make changes in what I work on during the summer. You look at the second round, the way Miami played me, whether they deny me the ball, and every time I had the ball, there were 2 or 3 guys on me. I couldn't drive to the basket. Everything was just crowded. So I guess the goal this summer is to be better and figure it out. That is what great players do. They don't make the excuses. They show up and they get it done. And Joel Embiid is doing everything he can there. But the very interesting thing, talking about what he is working on this offseason, shout out to Dave Early for this article, by the way, from Liberty Ballers. Quote, sources say Embiid is working this offseason on perimeter attacks and finishing with touch at the rim. Embiid and the Sixers hope he can become even more dynamic, bringing the ball up the floor himself on the break and driving in the half court. I mean, this guy is just insane. He's insane. Imagine a 7-footer doing things like this, getting his body right, because he's motivated. He wants to break through the chain, man. He wants to extend the boundary, and he wants to be one of the greatest skill set centers ever in this game. And I believe he is on his way to doing that. But if he adds things like this to his game, obviously they say he's working on the perimeter. Now he's going to need to be more consistent. There were games where he tried to do that way too much. There were also games where I felt like he didn't have that reliability, or he didn't feel comfortable with having somebody else, be reliable enough. And he felt like he had to take over games. And that's when he gets into trouble. He starts turning the ball over. He gets a little careless sometimes. But now, hopefully, a guy like James Harden can help take that pressure off him, take some of that stress off his shoulder, even a Tyrese Maxey or Tobias Harris, and just help him out, help alleviate that. Like he said, I mean, we're talking about a guy that's trying to avoid getting triple teamed in the playoffs. I mean, he needs some help. And Drew Hanlen, his trainer, who loves Joel Embiid, he's a big Embiid guy. He was asked about, what he's working on this summer. This is what Drew Hanlen had to say. Quote, yeah, it's just continuing to add versatility to his game so he can't be as doubled and tripled in the playoffs. If you look, the last really dominant center that won a championship was Shaquille O'Neal, and he was playing out of a triangle offense where it was very pass-oriented, cut-oriented, and you look, Joel is so dominant when he gets the ball in the regular season, obviously leading the league in scoring, but in the postseason, teams are just throwing 2-3 guys at him, and we're trying to continue to be more and more versatile where they can't double him as much. This means more perimeter-oriented where he can face up and drive from the perimeter, which is a lot harder to throw schemes at. So he confirms it right there. I mean, Joel Embiid is going to become an all-around offensive player if he's not on his way already. We're going to see more perimeter game. Hopefully he can knock down that three ball consistently. I mean, he's doing dribble, step back. I mean, it's nuts what he is doing. And like I always say, you know, don't take this for granted. Do not take this for granted what Joel Embiid is showing, because this is one of the craziest displays. And, you know, it's greatness on an every night basis. So, you know, he's going to need help for sure, but I think he's motivated to be the best offensive player. And I think his skill set is so unique. It's so tough to guard him. And how do you beat, you know, doubles and triples coming at him? Obviously, you have other guys like, you know, that can spot up and shoot and stuff. But yeah, you need another guy to take the pressure off. You need a James Harden or Maxey to step up and be there, because if they can do that and they can create their own shot and they can be dominant, there's no saying, there's no limits to what this Sixers offense can be. And then again, you add some dogs, you add some shooters. I think we're in a good position, and I think this Sixers team is stacking up to be really good. I think it's been a good offseason. I want to hear from you, though. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. How do you feel about this Sixers squad? Give me all your thoughts. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and like always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.